Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP and VRS. We are here at Suzuka International Racing Course to start off the iRacing 2023 season here in these wonderful Formula 3 cars and the wonderful iRacing iGPFun Formula 3 Series. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Samuli Kuma, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV. Samuli, it's the start of the season. It's start of the year. Well, the early start to the year. We're here in December for our one and only race in 2022 before we head over for a 2-week break and then back on to that 2023 season. 10-round season here for iGPFun. How are you feeling about it? It's looking very exciting, and also Hugh Thiago Marteau not joining us for this season, so it is a wide open race here today, and I've just been told by Samuli that his microphone's not plugged in. So hello everybody, I'm Austin Knight. We got Samuli Kuma in the production booth, and yeah, it's just a radio night here today, and I hope y'all are having a good time and having a good night so far here today, or a good morning if you're over here in the States with us. Well, it's not really a good morning, it's 3 in the afternoon. Well, if you're on the West Coast, it will be a little bit afternoon. Okay, I'm bad at math. If you're in Hawaii, good morning. Qualifying is currently going on. We got Kenzie Naiwaf. So the fast Dutchie is out of the series, but we still got another Dutch driver up there on provisional pole. That is Kenzie Naiwaf for the Racing Forces, the 062. Looking very good out there here today. A few updates came to iRacing that will affect these Formula 3 cars. The track polishing idea is very cool, and it does, show the line of the drivers that are taking a lot more, and it does clean the track, and I will expect that to be very beneficial for these Formula 3 cars later on in this race. As Jonathan Grabowski says, it saddens me that we don't have Samuli on comms. It saddens me too. But yeah, it's going to be a very fun day. 3 minutes currently left in qualifying. Naiwaf at provisional pole, following McIntyre Jones, who we're looking on right now, flying through Spoon. Spoon is such a wonderful corner, as it looks like McIntyre Jones, he is on and out. Yeah, he is on that lap, as our timing tower does say. as more drivers are moving up and down through the field. There's Evan Way, who really shot up through the field and was high midfield finisher. Evan Way last season with the Canadian put in a lot of work with that MRP GP team, and now they're sitting in 4th place and looking to improve on this lap time once more. Is he going to break into the 150s and into the top 3 for Evan Way? That 92 machine comes across the line to put down a 152, so it's not going to be a improvement for Evan right now, and he sits in 4th place. Still, Victor Barris is out there on the track in 5th. And new provisional pole, it is Jesper Sandstrom with a 150.898. He takes provisional pole just by 1/100th of a second. It's about, actually, it's more about 5,000. Is that about 5,000th of a second? No, 100th, okay. I think. I'm doing quick math right here, and it's very close. The top 3 is really close with each other. It's 5/100ths of a second separating the top 3. It is 5,000 of a second. Thank you, Marteau. Marteau is giving me a little bit of help from behind the scenes, even though I would extend an offer for him to join us in the commentary booth, given that he is not helping us. Not out there on the track this season, but hey, we might have Marteau pop up a few times throughout the season. But currently, it's just the Austinite, just me on commentary for y'all today. This is Lucas Baruch heading through 130R into the triangle. One of the most tricky chicanes out there. Comes across the line, does Lucas, but he does not improve. Will go on to be another lap. Max Bartolota, very low qualifying for Max so far. We don't usually see him down in 20th. Is he going to improve right here? Yes, he does. Up into 19th. Pulls over. Oh! Big crash on the front straightaway. That was Oldest Budiklis going down to the inside and finishing out his lap. And I guess he just wasn't expecting Max to stop on the track right there. As big crash has happened to end out qualifying. Checkers is out for qualifying right now. So we are on the way for our grid start. Lucas is showing a little bit of a improvement. Currently throughout the sectors, Lucas is sitting in 15th, 4/10ths down off Sandstrom. John McKenzie had a very good 2nd through 3rd sector. 4th sector, not an improvement, but he's heading into that final sector. Does he improve on that 150 to jump up from 48th? Oh, contact in that final thing. And I think that was John McKenzie. It is John McKenzie. Oh, so unfortunate on his fast lap. Does not get an improvement right there and will not improve on his qualifying lap. Philip Lucas just popped into our 4 cars exiting the circuit. It's green in sector 1, 3, and 4. Heads across the line. Does he improve from 15th? There was an improvement down the field, but not for Philip Lucas. Kujiaido has a improved sector in sector 4. Heading through sector 5 and 6. We go across the line. Aito, does he improve? No, he doesn't. And I believe we're reaching the end of qualifying right now. Jimenez, I believe, passed the line when qualifying has ended. So qualifying is over here as we are all cemented here and all ready to rock and roll here at Suzuka. Start off the 2023 year and season for the iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP. Current track conditions, it is December 18th, just like it is today. 48 degrees humidity and 24 degrees out there on the track. It is currently 23 Celsius in the air temp, and it's 1540 out there in the sky right now. And cars are on the grid. It's time to get ready to rock and roll. So here's our first grid of the year. Jesper Sandstrom takes pole, followed by Kenzie Nyhoff and Will McIntyre-Jones, followed by Victor Barris, Evan Way, Aaron Smith, Simon Fessy, Lucas Burke, and Pedro Suarez, Tony Jimenez, and Luca Verani, followed by Christian Glamcenter in 12th place. They're followed by Andy Flitt, Nicholas Westman, Philip Lucas, Richard Van Veen, Alistair Hay, Leonardo Cherry, Max Bartolota, Lee Aberdeen, Kevin Swimstra, Willis Putekelis, Manuel Animal Vargas, followed by Alvaro Minerio in 24th. And then it's Chuck Morrow, Kuji Ito, Marcelo Kessler, Alessandro Romanelli, Jacob Ozweski, Adam Townsend, Stephen Ritters, Ryan Barry, Marcus Budakes, Maximilian Deli, Slack Williams, and Robert Ridgway in 24th, followed by Resultant Zolmer, Fernando Corres, Martis Otolas, Gaiten Imhoff, Nick Carty, Irvin Stumakaz, Vince Jeskevs, Podopentico, Juan Hernandez, Reed Dennis, Ben Goyette, Edward Almos, and John McKenzie in 48th place. They're followed by Matthew Gracie, Chris Stewart, Reno Scattini, Matt Brewer, Paulo Breme, James Carter, Giovanni Soletto, Dorian Arroyo, James D. Johnson, Jose Arroyo, Cesar Cabral, and Marzo Dahinitz at the end of our 60-car grid to start off this season. 60 cars! And I believe the 60-car update is the 60-car limit here today. And hey, first race with it, and we max it all out right there. So I say that's a positive right now. Let's get ready to rock and roll here at Suzuka. All the drivers are lined up and getting ready to go. Just with Sandstrom ahead of everybody else. Everyone's all lined up. All right, here we go. 5 red lights. Bring them on. Let them shine. Let them rock. Let them fly. As we are green for 2023. And it's a great start by Kenzie Nyhoff on the inside. Sandstrom spun up the wheels a little bit. He's covering off that inside line right now as we go racing here at Suzuka. And everyone entering turn 1 very easily with each other, keeping enough room for everybody to not really have any incident with everyone else. Very nice moves, a few moves. Aaron Smith and Lucas Maru. Oh, hey, Aaron. Out there on track from us with Apex Racing TV. Aaron is out there in 5th place, and he's already moved up 1 spot, as well as Pedro Suarez moving up a few spots, but currently as they fly through the SSN Dunlop corner, everybody keeping it side by side and keeping it very clean with each other on these opening laps. Alistair Hay, he made a move already on this race start as we fly into Degna 1. A little bit on off track. That's a low cherry off the track. He gets right back on, heading into Degna 2. Still side by side. That is Kevin Swemstra and Knowles Perdikelis around him. That is going to be a tight race, but hey, gets back on, and no real big incidents so far in this race. We head into the hairpin. Everyone stays very kind and clean with each other as we go side by side farther down the field. But first, all the way down to 60th. This is a beautiful train and a beautiful spectacle here at Suzuka. Heading to Spoon down to the inside already, going for that move right back on him. That's Animal getting overtaken by Chuck Morrow, but Animal get on the back, and oh no, at the exit of Spoon, and it's happened at the exit. Animal and Morrow get into each other, and now chaos at the end of Spoon. A massive crash, and there is multiple cars involved. I feel like we got the track nearly blocked right there as multiple cars are going off the track and following over each other. It looks like a standing shuffleboard right now. Multiple cars heading into the pits. 10 cars in the pits, and I feel like even more going to be heading into the pits. Chuck Morrow, Manuel Animal Varquez, Marcelo Kessler, Alessandro Romanelli, Jacob Olszewski, Stephen Ritters, Ryan Berry, Maximilian Deli, Marcus Otelas, and Vincenzo Podopenko in there as well. Here's a replay of the incident. It looks like Morrow was just losing it right there, and then everyone just kind of plowed into each other, and then everyone's trying to find a open room but then it was just chaos. The field got blocked, and then there was nowhere for anyone to go, and then it was just a complete parking lot right there at the exit of the Spoon. We go back to live images right now. Tim McKenzie and Corez head into the pit lane, but they are the drive-ins. So far, 12 cars went into the pit lane. We are left with 48 cars not in there, 48 cars out there on the track, but a big amount of cars were affected by that incident, have gone off the track to avoid that. You can see the field kind of split in half. The first 25 cars and then 26 where that incident happened, and everyone just kind of around them having an incident. I think they've got another incident at Degno 1 and 2. That is Dennis on the inside. You know, I feel like it's just running wide at Degno 1, hitting the curb and the car going around and just getting a little bit loose. And as well, he has saved it now. We go back to our leading pack. This is Evan Way side by side with the 46. Round the outside of Simone Fessy. And they're still side by side. Fessy on the inside now weighs onto the inside, heading into this triangle. And big send by Simone Fessy. Simone Fessy up into 6th place past Evan Way. Beautiful move by the Frenchman. Ready down the front straightaway right now. Everybody all on the line, staying in that draft, trying to find any overtaking possibilities. There's an overtaker in the background. That is Andy Flint under pressure by Nicholas Westman. Westman on that inside line. They also have Philip Lucas back there as well. But Aaron Smith is not an issue. Aaron Smith is off the track. Oh, this is going to be tricky rejoin by Aaron Smith, but he's made it back on there, and he's fallen down to 16th. This is Lee Aberdeen in 19th place, heading through Dunlop Corner and heading into Degno 1 and 2. Gets a little bit of grass on the tires. A big dive down to the inside. I believe one car is just going very slow, exiting Dunlop Corner. Oh, contact with the 228 machine. The 228 is a lapped car of Kessler. He's just trying to let everybody by, and that was a very hard spot to do that for Marcelo Kessler. As around backwards at Degna 2 is Antonio Hernandez. Juan Antonio Hernandez, driver from Portugal, or the Iberia location. It was around right there, parked backwards. Rejoins the track safely, but down in 45th place. Back up to Evan Way. Once again, side by side with the car at 130R. But Pedro Soares got that spot down to the inside and made that move. Evan is having an up and down day, as that is Tony Jimenez setting up onto the inside at the chicane. Beautiful move by Tony Jimenez. He saw the opportunity and he went for it. Is Tony Jimenez under pressure? Yes, it is. There's Lucas Maruk. Maruk looking out to the inside, heading into turn 1. Lucas Maruk sends it down to the inside, holds that inside line. He's still alongside of him, but he's cleared him at the end of it. Lucas Maruk, brilliant move, heading into turn 1. And we got a lapped traffic in front of Lucas Maruk. It's not Evan Way in front of him. I'm not sure who that is heading through Dunlop Corner. That is Teal, Maximilian Teal. Is affected by that, and I feel like Lucas is going to have to get past him as fast as he can. And this is a very tricky spot. We saw this last time with that other lap car trying to get out of the way and just kind of affect him. I expected Teal to go wide into this hairpin, just let him by. Yes, just like clockwork. Lucas Berg onto the inside as well as other cars. And big crash on the straightaway underneath the bridge. That is Kevin Zwemstra around. And Pudiklis also involved in there as well. Here's the replay of Kevin Zwemstra. Guessing Pudiklis might have, oh, yep, there goes Pudiklis. And right in front of Kevin Zwemstra, nowhere to go. Two cars into each other and almost road blocking the road and collecting a third car right there. You see all the cars just trying to dart through them and find the easier route as they get back out onto the track or tow into the pit lane. Kevin Zlemstra. Very rough start to the day. Down 7 spots, sitting in Spoon and sitting in 28th place. Back up to Victor Barris, who's under pressure by Simone Fessy. Barris defending onto the inside. Fessy looking around to the outside. Fessy's got the speed. He's laid onto the brakes. Fessy trying to hold it around the outside right here. That's daring, but it is not going to go for there. Victor Barris onto the inside and holds off for 4th place here at Suzuka. So you go a little bit loose right there as Simone Fessy trying to regain heat in that tire. This is very good opportunity. And up ahead, if you look at our track map, we have a collision up ahead right in front of our leaders at Degna 2. That is Ryan Berry trying to rejoin the track right in front of our leaders. So he's going to have to be on that brake pedal for a bit. He's going to prolong this off track and just go alongside to hope nobody runs wide into his side. He gets back onto the track right into faster traffic, but that is a very clean rejoin by the Canadian Ryan Berry. It's going to be, oh, there's the dive down to the inside, and he's going out to the outside right there to let other cars by. So tricky Degna 1 and 2 is. He can just make a little small mistake at the entry of it, get up onto the curb, and then it's a big slide off the track, and it's really hard to save. And if you mess up Degna 1 and you're just trying to save the car, Degna 2 is just a no-go show. And if you're messing up heading into Degna 2, you're just not going to make it. Phil Lucas and Christian Glamsetter drag racing here at Suzuka. Lucas on the inside, Glamsetter on the outside, heading into 130R. Christian Glamsetter trying to hold it around the outside at 130R, but it's not going to work out right there for him. Philip Lucas holding it down to the inside and making it work right there into the triangle as well. Philip Lucas into 11th, up 4 spots. Beautiful day so far by Philip Lucas. So we start off lap 6 of 26 here. Good start to the season so far. Biggest mover currently is down the field. I believe it is 20 spots up, and that is Cesar Cabral, the Brazilian, having a great day so far. This is Max Bartolota trying to hold off Andy Flint. So now Max in the 157 up 4 spots so far. Andy's fallen down 3 spots. He's had a good qualifying, but the rest of the race has not gone his way. Kind of just been caught behind everybody else who's been charging through the field. So they're separated just by a few tenths as they fly through Dunlop Corner. Philip Lucas getting a little bit off the track at Degna. He's come back on. As he's still under pressure. And Glamsetter and Smith, Aaron Smith, late move on Christian Glamsetter. He's looking for another one. Glamsetter's looking to get back Aaron Smith right there. There we go. Aaron Smith defending onto the inside. He's got to leave that space there because Glamsetter is right there next to him. There we go, side by side with each other. And it is Aaron Smith still leading out Christian Glamsetter in 12th place. Ronnie and Jimenez in a battle for 9th place up in the field. But we're looking at the battle between Aaron Smith and Glamsetter. Glamsetter on the outside, Smith onto the inside, heading into the chicane. Smith defended very well ahead of Christian Glamsetter as they are racing out of the quarter and still in the draft. Up is Will McIntyre-Jones and Victor Barris. Barris was in the draft. He swings around to the outside, but McIntyre-Jones onto the inside. They get so close to each other, they almost make wheels. And Barris nearly sideways through the corner as they enter the S's. Victor Barris, McIntyre-Jones in the fight for third, and a beautiful fight for third. Victor Barris sneaks his way through there with a wonderful move around the outside. He held it there, and it was beautiful. It was brave. It was pure Spaniard right there. Victor Barris up into 3rd place. Round the outside of Will McIntyre-Jones here on lap 7. Simone Fessy in that draft of McIntyre-Jones. He wants to go down to the inside, but McIntyre-Jones! He lost it heading into take 9. He's off the track. McIntyre's off the track, and he's got to watch out or else he's going to be collected by other cars. He gets onto the brakes, and Luca Verani gets off the track to avoid him as well. He gets onto the reverse gear and continues on, but that could have been even worse. And making worse out of a worse situation for McIntyre-Jones. He's fallen down to 17th. He gone wide in that corner as well. Not only losing 1 spot, but losing nearly 14 spots. Over to Pedro Soares, who's holding off Evan Way and Lucas Maruk behind him in the draft of each other. Pedro Soares up 4 spots, and both those drivers behind him, they're just unable to make any moves. The 2 Canadians trying to find a leg up in this race so far. Flying through 130 yard. And the Soares on the outside. There goes Way to the outside, deep onto the brake. Soares dives it into the chicane, but Evan Way, he tried to hold it off right there. There's a lap guard just waiting for them and getting a good trackside seat for that instant. And McIntyre Jones, oh, he's blown through the corner. McIntyre Jones blowing through the chicane corner, and the usual drop weeks that we have, championship implications here in this 10-round race. We will not have drop weeks, so every race counts here in iGPFun, and this is not the day. This is not the stuff you want to hear if you're Will McIntyre Jones, because no drop weeks, all your mistakes will come back to haunt you right there at the end of the season. Lucas Maruk chasing down Evan Way and Pedro Soares. Fly through Degna to Karani on the back of Maruk, trying to make a move on the Canadian, heading into the hairpin. He's just too far back to make that lunge for it, but maybe off the exit, he go to get an advantage. And oh, in the background, that's Alvaro Manarino around at the exit of Degna 2. And he's just going to toe out the end, and I realize this is a little bit of case of running a little bit wide of Degna 2, and then you're caught out right there. This is Alistair Hay being chased by Max Bartolota and chasing down Christian Glemson, I believe, as sliding through Spoon. Oh, wonderful catch to keep that car pointed straight. Hay closed in a big gap to Christian Glemson. And this is great news for Max Bartolota to have the cars in front of me start fighting. This is Alistair Hay fighting on that number 10, Christian Glamsetter, riding on it, on board, gets a good amount of speed, looks down to the inside, sends it down to the inside. Alistair Hay and Glamsetter, but Glamsetter swings it around to the outside and goes a little bit wide. It is still Christian Glamsetter in 12th place. Alistair Hay in 13th as they continue on down to the inside of the track. Defending is Christian Glamsetter. Alistair Hay going to snipe the inside of the line. Glamsetter just left the door open. Hay found that door, and he walked right through there. Alistair Hay up into 12th place. Glamsetter in 13th. Bartolota in 14th. Christian Glamsetter and Alistair Hay having a beautiful battle for the last part and the first part of that lap. Beautiful racing by these 2 drivers. Back to our fight for the lead. Sandstrom and Naiwaf are top 2, separated by 4 tenths between each other. 9 laps down and a lot more to go, as Kenzie in that Racing Forces 062 is definitely putting a little bit of pressure. Last lap was 3 tenths quicker than Jesper's, and Kenzie, the Dutchman, trying to continue that tradition in iGPFun, the astounding Dutch tradition, to keep those performances constant and looking for another Dutch victory here. No anthems played in iRacing for the winning country, though that definitely should be a feature in future things, as well as an animated podium. But hey, I'm addicted to the small little things like that. Kenzie closing down. He's in the draft looking for Sandstrom. He's alongside. He's going for it. Kenzie for the lead of the race. Tops up onto the curb, but is held off by Sandstrom. Beautiful move by Jesper right there to hold off for the lead. Wonderful fighting, but now Kenzie looking for another move right now. He's alongside of him. Gets into that draft. Now alongside down the front straightaway. Kenzie into the lead of this race, just barely. He's alongside, trying to carry the speed around to the outside, but he's leaving the space. Jesper Sandstrom back down to the inside. Sandstrom back into the lead, ahead of Kenzie, as there we go, on board of Kenzie right now in that draft, heading through the S's, and this is the best seat to be on the house, is sitting on the row bar of Kenzie Nimoff as we are trying to chase down Jesper Sandstrom for the lead. You see how much Jesper is wrangling that car and causing the back end to kick out just slightly as we fly through Dunlop Corner and heading into the tricky Degnas. We're actually closing in on lap traffic ahead of us. This is not the spot where you want to be closing down on lap traffic, because this is the most technical part of the track and the most tricky part, especially if you have a slower car ahead of you. Racing with Kenzie heading into the hairpin. No money right there to staying in that draft. We fly through that long right-hander. And into the long left-hander, a spoon. A little bit of a lockup by Sandstrom up ahead. Kenzie broke early, a spinner right in front of him. And that was a big near miss. Luckily, it did not affect him. But Tony Jimenez has had an issue in the background at Spoon. Jimenez has had an issue, and he is down the field. But look at this. Nymov chasing down a 130R. He's got the speed. He's alongside. He's on the outside this time. Sandstrom on the inside. He sends it through the corner. Nymov, though, off the exit. He's going to get a blast of speed right now. He's at the gearbox. He's looking to the outside moon, trying to carry even more speed. But that inside line is just too well defended right now. But Sandstrom, he's got to worry about that draft that Nymov has. Here we go. Nymov going for that move on Sandstrom. The Racing Forces Dallara F3 machine trying to hold it around the outside. But that is Sandstrom still onto the inside. Is Nymov going to have the nose alongside? No, he doesn't. Sandstrom keeps that lead as we start lap 11. This fight for the lead is really tasty. If they continue to do this, that's going to allow Barracks and Fessy to close in on them, and they're not far behind. And there is Victor Barris. It's about a second clear of Simon Fessy right behind him. He's got the lap car out of his way. There we go, blue flag. And now it's 1 second to Nymov and Sandstrom ahead of him, 1.5 as, oh, Pedro Soares is the next victim to fall to Degna 2. Big slide and into the wall goes Pedro. Oh no! Oh no, the worst rejoin. Right into his teammate of Adam Talisman, taking them both out of the race. Adam Talisman was completely on his own right there. Then out of nowhere comes his teammate trying to get back onto the track. Let's ride on board of Adam Talisman right here. Heading through Degna 2, you see your teammate on the inside, and oh no, 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 no. Oh, it's like, I seriously swear that we just saw that incident in slow motion. That was the most cruel thing ever to see. So we go back to live pictures. Ferrani and Marut going side by side through 130R. Luca Ferrani jumping up into 6th place. We had a good train from 5th place all the way down to, I believe that would be 16th. A good trade going on. Looking at our track map, Ferrani trying to chase down Evan Way in 5th place. So this is Lucas Maruk right behind him. And he's at the back. He could go for a move, but Lucas Ferrani, very good movement so far. Up 5 spots. Ern Smith. Whoa. He's had that recovery in the S's after that incident that he had in the S's. And he's back into 8th place. He's dropped down 2 spots as Aaron is trying to make up some spots once again and continue on that pace. This is Philip Lucas on the inside of the track of Dunlop Corner trying to chase down Aaron Smith, being chased by Tony Jimenez. Into the Degnas. I feel like Tony might have gotten a little bit off the track in the background, but it's continue on in 10th place. Around the track, Max Bartolota up 7 spots. The poor qualifying not affecting his race pace at all. He's certainly moving throughout the field. Last lap's a 152.7, and that was a 1/10 clear of the car behind him. Up 7 spots to 157. The Italian looking very good. Want to continue that top 10 success that he usually has. Is Evan Way side by side with Luca Ferrani. Ferrani on the inside once again. Verani up into 5th place. Luca Verani on that inside of the 130R is just surgical with that. And no one can get past him. We got side-by-side heading to the triangle up ahead. This is Aaron Smith and Lucas side-by-side. Lucas is off the track just a little bit, getting alongside of Aaron Smith, trying to push him out a little bit wide. Holding that inside line is still Philip Lucas. Aaron Smith on the outside. They got to watch out for Tony Jimenez, who wants to make it 3 wide down the straightaway here at Suzuka. And Tony Jimenez, they got to watch out because Jimenez has the speed. Aaron Smith swings it around, snipes the P1 spot, snipes the spot of the lead of this little group. Aaron Smith jumps up into 8th place. Lucas into 9th, and Jimenez, well, he had a very spirited round the outside move heading into turn 1, but it was just not there for him as Aaron Smith making a very good move, sniping the opportunity from Philip Lucas to jump up into 8th place. Beautiful move by Aaron J. Smith. Lucas right behind Smith, trying to close that gap and continue on. You can see the rest of the drivers in that train. Jimenez, Hayes, and Bartolota also want a piece of this pie as there goes Philip Lucas. Big dive into the airpin, trying to close up that gap, and yes, he did. He's nearly riding on that gearbox, using the trap that he can as they continue on through that long right-hander. We also got fights for the lead. This is Sandstrom and Nywolf once again on the back straightaway here at Suzuka. They got a lap car in front of them. That is the 93 of Otlofs ahead of them. The Latvian driver is providing a little bit of trap. There is Sandstrom under pressure. Nightwolf trying to go around the outside. Sandstrom once again hopping over the curves. Almost a little bit of contact, but a good lockup by Nightwolf to avoid that incident as they continue on. But last lap, Kenzie Nightwolf put in the fast lap of the race, and now Nightwolf needs to make this move right now. 110 separates them right now. He's in the draft. He's going to be looking for that inside move. 110 separates him. Now underneath the 10. There goes Nightwolf calling his shot down to the inside. He's alongside of Sandstrom Ware, and here we go for the lead of the race here on lap 14. They're still side by side. Nightwolf on the outside. Sandstrom now onto the inside. So they go side by side through the S's. They're still side by side through the S's, and Sandstrom somehow holding it around the outside right there. And yes, he does. Sandstrom, and then that 21 machine holds it around and making a very fantastic move. The Scandinavian driver doing what he does best, holding it off for the lead. And with a smile on his face right there, Nywolf unable to get that move done. And this is a wonderful fight we have for the lead here at Suzuka to start off the 2023 season here on the iGPFun 4x3 Series, presented by SRP here on Apex Racing TV. And ooh, big slide in the hairpin by Sandstrom. That's going to be great news if you're the Dutchman. As this is Victor Barris trying to chase down Art, fighting two leaders as well. And he would be very fond of joining this fight and making it a three-way fight for the lead of this race as we are closing down the laps, closing in on 10 laps to go very soon. So we head through Spoon. That earlier slide by Jesper, this is not going to be helping him right there. We go down that long straightaway. Nywolf, we saw them close down that gap and go for the move at the chicane. Is he going to be close enough once more? Sandstrom defending all the way to the outside track, all the way to the left hand. He wasn't pressured by Nywolf, but Nywolf can definitely close him down. 4/10 separated once again, but this is a good lap by Jesper. Besides that small mistake, he was very fast, and I would not be surprised if he was faster. Yes, he was by 3/10 to Kenzie. As Kenzie trying to chase him down, staying the draft, but it's not going to happen for him. As the battle for the lead, kind of taking a small chill pill right now. As this is Luca Verani under pressure by Evan Way in the battle for 5th. Evan Way in the S's, under pressure by Lucas Maruk, looking to provide pressure on Luca Verani. Two Canadians trying to chase down the Switzerland driver from the Swiss, as Lucas Maruk is just chasing down Evan Way. He's at the end of this train. He's got a good view ahead of him as we fly through Degno 1 and 2. Car up ahead, just getting out of the way of these cars right now and making this a more fair fight between them, not wanting any traffic, as this is Philip Lucas Maruk putting on a good move, diving into the hairpin and going for that move on Evan Way. Evan Way, though, is right there, but he definitely closed that gap. He's going to be setting up a move at 130R for sure, is Lucas Maruk, so definitely keep our eyes peeled on the Canadian fight going on for 6th place, as it looks like Luca Ferrari has pulled away as we've gone into Spoon and out of Spoon, and now this is looking at Lucas Maruk and what he does right now. As, oh, that is Jethro Sandstrom. He was just sliding through 130R and almost making contact with Victor Barris. Sandstrom has fallen down to 2nd place, and that has put in the driver from the Netherlands, the Dutchman, Kenzie Nijhoff, up into the lead, and this is what happened to our race leader. Heading down into 130R, the 21 driver on his own. Does he just go a little bit too wide? He cuts the curb, and too much curb. With a big 360 right there. Nijhoff is going to have to be getting a new pair of pants right there. That could have been one of the biggest incidents we have seen on iGPFun, but it did not happen as Kenzie Nijhoff takes the lead of the race here at Suzuka. And big slide into the wall. That's Aaron Smith crashing into the wall at turn 1. And that, I'm sure enough, that is Aaron Smith's day gone here. Tony Jimenez is off as well in the S's. A lot of crashes happening. Aberdeen and, oh, Cherry and Aberdeen are off. And Tony Jimenez is off as well. 3 cars off in the S's. And I think that might have started with Tony Jimenez, and then the following cars right behind him trying to avoid him also having an incident as well. 5 cars in 1 lap, all out of the race. This was Tony Jimenez. Oh, car dive up onto his inside. Got set off the track, and I think it's going to be this regional that takes the other 2 cars out with him. Boom! Yes, there it is. Very bad netco of one of the other drivers right there, but bang! 5 cars out in the pit lane. Aaron Smith, Tony Jimenez, Leonardo Cherry, Lee Aberdeen, and Fernando Correz. Here's what happened to Aaron Smith, putting a lot of pressure on the car on the inside, and then just, oh, the car on the inside has got a little bit wide and sending Aaron Smith into the shadow realm and into the wall here at Suzuka, and that is a very unfortunate for the driver from the UK. Aaron Smith, this is Barris and Sandstrom in the fight for 2nd place as we continue on here. As Sandstrom trying to catch up to Victor Barris. Barris taking advantage of Sandstrom's very warm tires as he's going to try to pull out the gap. That incident that Sandstrom has just had has given a major blessing to the driver on his own by 2 seconds. That is Kenzie Nijhoff up in the lead of this race by 2.1 seconds, and now Sandstrom and Barris, so they start finding that gap is going to be bringing on just a little bit more. But Kenzie, it looks like clear roads ahead right now as we have 10 laps to go here at Suzuka. And if somebody was wondering if there was chaos going to happen in today's race, there definitely is. This is Matt Brewer on the outside trying to chase down Cabral, the Brazilian. Actually, no, this is Kevin Zwemstra ahead of Matt Brewer in the race for 30th. Matt just getting a little bit loose through Spoon, trying to chase him down. Matt Brewer up 21 spots. One of the top movers throughout this race. Didn't have the best qualifying, but he's definitely having the better race pace so far. So good to see that Matt in that 29 Mono Racing Prince GP livery, beautiful livery by the way, is doing very well out there today. And also great job being had by Kevin Zwemstra as he's on board of that recovery drive. Up to the fight for 28th place. This is Reme and Cabral going side by side. Cabral sends it up onto the inside, and up into 28th place is Cesar Cabral from Team Watson Racing. Beautiful move by the Brazilian in that number 44. So we head through Dunlop Corner. Reno Scattini under pressure by Nick Cordy, heading into Degna 1 and 2. It's a very tricky spot for Scattini. He's got to keep up the speed and put on the pressure to Gracie up ahead of him. That's 7:07. Matthew Gracie up 24 spots. Scattini looking for number 26 overtakes here today. We head into the hairpin. Matthew Gracie's got a lot of work out behind him. He's got Scattini and Cardi on his gearbox as we fly into Spoon. Scattini is just taking the regular line as Nick Cardi, though, Matt Gracie taking a very defensive line heading into spin, but now he's going to be very defensive out of this corner. Yeah, he's going down to the inside, closing that door to Scattini. As now onto the outside, Scattini going to try to get that draft, trying to get that advantage, but it's not going to be there by that early defense by Matthew Gracie. As here we go, Scattini looking down to the inside, trying to find a opportunity to just send it up into that moment, but he's just taking his time with this opportunity and not rushing it at all. He knows how much time is left in this race, and he is just waiting for that moment, being very patient and not going until he knows he can make this move. This is a good opportunity that he has. That inside line is available. It's not fully shut on the way. Scattini, though, looking for that outside move. Grace is still holding that inside line as we go side by side just for a moment bit, but on that inside line, that's going to be Matthew Gracie's corner all day long. Something's happened to Zoltan Zollmutter up on the track as, yep, there is Zoltan Zollmutter at Degna 2, spun around, and he's falling down the field just slowly. It looks like he might have damage. He's janking the car around like he does have damage, where he's just testing out the suspension. If it was, I think it would be that back and left. And this is going to be not a day that Zoltan Zollmutter wants to remember. Philip Lucas and McIntyre Jones go side by side. Lucas on the outside, McIntyre Jones clears them on the inside, and it's a beautiful move right there on our back straightaway heading into 130R here for Will McIntyre Jones. And oh, that's Lucas heading into the pit lane. Philip Lucas heading into the pit lane on lap 19 out of 26. The car looks fine, so I think this might just be for a unplanned pit stop where you have to fill up the car with fuel. And the Suzuka, no, he's actually taking tires too as well. I feel like he's just not checked them all. And yeah, he's taken tires and gone past, but this is the last incident that Philip Lucas was with. There's a 257 ahead of him. And oh, that was the contact at turn 1. Big contact. So Philip Lucas, big crash at turn 1. So I feel like just heading into the pits just to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Safe. Each one is the track at 13th place. And spinning around, that is Giovanni Stiletto. We got multiple incidents as well. Andy Flint as well having an issue. And this is Stiletto in front of our leaders. Yep, there they are right now. Sandstrom avoiding that right now. And Stiletto is just trying to find a spot. But that's around the outside of spin. That is a danger zone for Giovanni Stiletto. So he's going to have to watch out for anybody else trying to get back onto the track. He's got a good window of opportunity right now, but he's going to be very slow on speed compared to the P10, as this is Chris Stewart off at Degna 1, as well as John McKenzie at Degna 2. This is Chris Stewart trying to get back onto the track, and I think he escaped there without any incident, as we have a move for second place. Sandstrom and Barris swapping spots. Sandstrom back ahead of Barris. 2.6 seconds separates them and Kenzie Nyhoff, who last lap set a 1:51.46, a new fastest lap of the race here at Suzuka. Barris trying to close down on Sandstrom to stay with him and get that position back is what he's looking for. 4/10 back. He really sends it into that hairpin. Very nice late braking done by Victor Barris just to close down that gap. And then he just got to get onto the throttle just a little bit earlier to take advantage of that early send, or else it's just not going to be paying off dividends. He will be in that draft for Sandstrom, so he's not going to be falling away, but if Sandstrom keeps up his pace, it is going to be game, set, and match for Victor Barris, unless he can do something right here as a Scandinavian driver after that incident of just his auto cord at 130R going a little bit too wide, went over the curb and spun around. It was definitely not good for him. Victor Barris closing in about 2/10. He could have a good move heading into the triangle chicane. It's a little bit too far back, 2/10 back right now, heading into the brakes. It's not going to be his game right now. going to have to wait for another opportunity. This is a good opportunity right here down the front straightaway as we start lap 21 of 26. Victor Barris at a 269 machine in that draft, looking on the outside, side by side they go, but it's just too early as that's Lucas Baruch down the field, and he's going to be losing not one, not two, not 3 spots. It is going to be 3 spots. Lucas Baruch down into 7th place. So that is Evan Way and Luca Verani up ahead of him. The 57 is a lap car, so 2 spots he has lost, and that is a big mistake out of the chicane by Lucas Baruch. Gaten Eimhoff under pressure by Zoltan Zomotor. Zoltan wanted to go down to the inside, but he's just too far back away to be making that move. And they continue and stay on that pace. They in that draft to each other. Zoltan Zomotor, that 7 foot is just a little bit too far back. The driver is not too far back though. It's Reno Scatini alongside of Matthew Gracie. They continue their fight for another lap. Still Matthew Gracie up ahead, but he's going to have that draft given to Scatini. He's going to have to look behind him and make sure he has that inside line defended. You feel like he's ahead already enough and goes all the way out to the left to carry on that speed into the corner. Van Veen ahead of Kuji Aito. Right behind him as they enter Spoon Aito at his home racetrack, wanting to make this a good result for him. The Japanese driver having a early morning drive, but he's all up in that draft for Richard Van Veen. Can he make that move work? He's in the draft. He's looking out to the inside. Yes, here we go. Side by side, heading into 130R. They're still side by side, and here we go. Aito down low, and hello, making it 3 wide just for a little bit. Robert Ridgway joins the battle, but it's Aito and Ridgway making gains at 130R. Ridgway backing off just a little bit, having a little bit of lockup and catching Richard Van Veen off guard. He gets onto the brakes to avoid this as well, but Robert Ridgway out of nowhere jumping up into 13th. Now he wants 12th place. Ridgway down low and up into 12th. Beautiful move by the number 17 for Atomic Racing. Robert Ridgway up into 12th and up 24 spots. One of our biggest movers of the race. Multiple drivers up 24 and up spots. Track temperature is 24 degrees. Air temperature is 23 degrees. It has gone down. Track is staying colder. The wind is at 20 kilometers an hour. Looking at just a little bit northwestern. It's almost north, but it is northwestern by about 10 degrees. So it's a very powerful wind we have here at Suzuka. And that might be undersettling some of the cars. Dew point out 1,025 and a humidity of 48%. Clear skies here in these closing minutes of this race. We got a beautiful side-by-side fight here between Gracie and Scatini. Scatini on the inside, Gracie on the outside. Gracie hold that inside line. Now Scatini's got to watch that inside line, and he does watch that, or else that was Nick Carty getting up in there, taking a very opportunistic move down the inside, but it's not going to be there as they continue to race on here at Suzuka. Side by side up ahead, and ooh, no, he got hooked by the Latvian Cesar Cabral. So unfortunate right there. It was being let by, but it wasn't the opportunity. The wheels got hooked right there, and Cesar Cabral from T. Watson Racing is in the gravel at the exit of Degna 1. And they are not going to be happy about that. They actually tow into the pit lane. And this is going to be a long day for the Brazilian, waiting for the next 2 weeks to pass by before we return back at Circuit of the Americas for round 2 here on Apex Racing TV for the iGPFun 4x3 series presented by SRP. McIntyre Jones of Digital Apex trying to chase down Christian Glamsitter and Alistair Hay up ahead of him, as that is a lapped car getting out of their way right out of right before Dana 1 and 2. A little bit of a slide by Christian Glamsitter right there. As Dorian Arroyo for the 4th International Racing Team. And that number 9, the Mexican, having a good day so far, up 20 spots. And Arroyo is going to be happy about that. This is Matthew Gracie. Oh, he's just under pressure. He's getting buzzed by 2 other cars in the draft. He takes a late look down to the inside, but he was just double overtaken by Zlemstra and Scatini. Scatini got into the draft as well as Zlemstra. And they just blew by Matthew Gracie with nowhere to go as we head into the S's. And he's not the only one in there. Was there contact on the straight? We're going to have a little bit of a look for Matthew Gracie. Is there Scatini right behind him? Scatini and Gracie. Well, this is Gracie's view. Did we get a little bit of... Oh, yes, there was a bump. And into the wall goes Matthew Gracie. He's definitely not going to be happy about that. And luckily enough, I feel like his car might just be a little bit scraped, but he can continue on. John McKenzie chasing out Nick Carty, under pressure by Brem and Brewer. Actually, John McKenzie is falling down for his positions, and he's just trying to regain spots on the track. I feel like he was out at Degna. So we head into Spoon. Kenzie Nywoff up ahead of the field by 1.9 seconds. That gap is keeping consistent. Last lap, though, Sandstrom put down the fastest lap of the race, 0.3 faster than the Racing Forces driver. Kenzie, can they hold it off for the lead of this race, or is it going to go to Jesper Sandstrom with a last few lap charge? We're closing down on 2 laps to go in the battle for the lead here at... I almost said Silverstone. Here at Suzuka to start off the season. This is Victor Barris falling off behind. Sandstrom putting down a very good pace right now. Closes another 10th in on Nywoff and trying to get in that draft and closing down. 2 laps to go right now. And last lap, once again, another fastest lap of the race by Jesper Sandstrom, a 150.75. And that is about 0.3 once again faster than Kenzie Nywoff for our lead of our race. 1.8 seconds separates them. And if he gets in that 1 second gap in this lap, it is going to be a very fantastic race we have here to the end. But Kenzie is looking like in control. He just has to be very consistent. The track is clear up ahead of him. There's just 2 laps to go. Anything can happen here in the sun setting here in Japan as Jesper Sandstrom closing down his rival. 1.6 seconds now. He is really chomping at the bit now. And Sandstrom is flying on the track. Victor Barris has no answer to that. And the only answer that he has is something happens ahead of him. Kevin Zwemstra got off the track and a little bit of sideways at Spoon Corner. They rejoin back in 27th place behind of John McKenzie. He goes side by side, John McKenzie, and might have had a little bit of tap heading into 130R as Zolmutter trying to get the best out of a worse situation and not fall to John McKenzie as a Scottish driver. Takes a very wide line out of contact or just out of trying to keep the car alive. We got 2 laps to go as our leaders are closing in on 1 lap to go as we fly into the chicane. 1.4 seconds was the magic number that I was looking for, and that is that. If you within that 1 second draft race, you can really close down and do some damage right now. White flag is in the air for Kenzie Nywoff. Can the Dutchman continuing on, puts in a personal best of 151.03. That is just not faster than Sandstrom right behind him, the 150.8. He is flying right now. 1.4 seconds separates them as they head into turn 1. There's Sandstrom in the background. There's Victor Barris as well. But Kenzie Nywoff put in a very fantastic race. Took advantage of a mistake by Jesper on the outside of the track at 130R. Rode in onto the curb just a little bit wide of 130R. The wheel dropped, and then he went spinning around. It's just not to be for Jesper Sandstrom. back to our race leader. He's caught up to lap traffic. This lap traffic better get out of the way or else it's going to be very disastrous. And he's being held up to slightly, almost contact right there, heading out of Degna 2. And now 1 second gained for Sandstrom. He's got that lap traffic, though, in his way. I believe that lap traffic is doing... No! Yeah, he does go a little bit wide. I got a little color confused right there. But Sandstrom does have the advantage of the lap car getting out of his way. 1 second separating each of the cars in our lead. Sandstrom, Barris, Nywolf in the lead of this race. White flag is in the air as we continue on. And it is through Spoon we go. Kenzie Nywolf, a long straightaway up ahead of him. He's got the 21 in his draft right behind. Can he continue to keep that 1 second gap right behind him? And he just has to have a few more quarters to take this race to the checkers for Kenzie. Or is it going to be Sandstrom taking advantage of an untimely mistake heading into that final chicane? Kenzie Nywolf into the brakes, hops up onto one curb, hops up onto two, and he's just got 1 quarter to go and taking the first race victory of season 2023. It is Kenzie Nywolf. The Dutchman makes it another victory for the Dutch here ahead of Jesper Sandstrom, and Victor Barris finishes out in third. As we got side-by-side fighting for 10th place. McIntyre Jones on the inside, around the outside, Glamser onto the inside. McIntyre Jones, last lap overtake, round the outside of 130R. Heading into that chicane, it's going to be a last lap dash for Christian Glamser, but he gets caught up onto the curbs, and he goes off the track. Glamser, unfortunately, couldn't make that move. He's going to have, luckily, though Robert Ridgway is about 50 seconds behind him, he's going to be finishing in 11th place. McIntyre Jones in 10th place. Andy Flint under pressure by Richard Van Veen. Last lap overtake by Richard Van Veen. Whoa, wonderful move around the outside, but it is very tight off the exit, and Andy Flint holds it on for 13th place. Richard Van Veen trying to hold it around the outside. Unfortunately, was squeezed on that final chicane with a beautiful result by Richard Van Veen, moving up a few spots, and a beautiful result for the Mono Racing Prince GP2 team, as well as they have 2, I believe, MRP drivers up there in the top 15. Yeah, Richard Van Veen and Evan Way up there as well. Matthew Gracie up 26 spots. Our runner up for our biggest mover of the race. Our biggest mover of the race is Reno Scatini in 40th. These drivers are all fighting out for 23rd. There's a little bit separation between them. They're a little bit just too far back from each other heading into that chicane. And it is not going to be good for either of these drivers. And now I feel like all these drivers are just accepting this race and getting to that checkered flag and just accepting these results right now. As we look at our race winner, the Dutchman, the 062 from Racing Forces, Kenzie Nywolf, taking the victory here, as he's just going to be cruising home in style, even if he might be out of fuel. But you know what? The Racing Forces driver, he's okay. He deserves that victory. It was a very fantastic race here to finish off the 2022 year, to start off the 2023 year here on iGPFun. 10 rounds await us in the future, and we just scratched off 1 right there. Next round is in 2 weeks as we head into Circuit of the Americas. Here's your full results right now. Kenzie Nywolf takes the win, followed by Jesper Sandstrom and Victor Barris. Simon Fessy, Luca Perani, followed by Lucas Baruch, Evan Way, Max Bartolota, Alistair Hay, Will McIntyre Jones, Christian Glamson, Robert Ridgway, Andy Flint, Richard Van Veen, Kuchi Aito, Marcus Budakest, Philip Lucas, Slack Williams, Edward J. Amos, Keaton Imhoff, Ben Goyette, Reno Scatini, Matthew Gracie, Nick Carty, John McKenzie, Kevin Swemster, John Hernandez, Juan Hernandez, Bat Brewer, Paulo Breme, Stephen Ridgers, Tony Jimenez, James Carter, Jacob Ozleski, Oldest Budakelas, Dorian Arroyo, Zoltan Zilmer, Ryan Bear, Marcus Otolovs, followed by Giovanni Soletto, Erwin Stumikans, Chris Stewart, Jose Arroyo, James D. Johnson, Cesar Carrera, Brazilian driver, number 44 in 44th place, Cesar, followed by Adam Talsma, Aaron Smith, unfortunately crashing out in 46th place, Chuck Morrow, Lee Aberdeen, Leonardo O'Cherry, Marcelo Kessler, Fernando Correz, Pedro Suarez, Alvaro Moreno, Potapenko, Reed Dennis, Nicholas Westman, Maximilian Thien, Manuel Animal Vargas, Alessandro Romanelli, and Marcelo Don at the end of our 60-card grid. And that is the end of our race here at Suzuka and the end of 2022 here for the iGPFun Formula 3 series, but we'll be back in 2 weeks to start off 2023 with a bang for round 2 of the 2023 season at Circuit of the Americas. Thank you to our sponsors at Sim Racing Pro and Virtual Racing School for putting this on as well, and all the support. As for everybody here on Apex Racing TV, I've been joined by Samuli Kumo in the production booth. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.